everybody, and happy holidays. Welcome to Making Mealtime Magic with me, Dawn the Kitchen Witch. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple braised pork tenderloin. And what does braised mean? Most people don't even know. That's really just slow cooking in the oven. For us today, because we're going to use a small pork tenderloin, we're only going to braise for about an hour to an hour and a half. However, if you had a larger roast or a larger pork tenderloin, you could do it for longer. To make the red wine braised pork tenderloin, you will need 1 pork tenderloin, boneless, 1 to 1.5 pounds, 1 carrot shredded, 2 tablespoons of Cucina Aurora toasted onion mix, 1 tablespoon Cucina Aurora rosemary and oregano infused olive oil, 1 to 1.5 cups red wine, and salt and pepper to taste. So, we've got our pork tenderloin here. It's about 1.5 pounds, 1.25 pounds, and we're just gonna take our Cucina Aurora toasted onion mix, and we're gonna sprinkle 2 tablespoons of that right on that dry meat, not cooked or anything. A little bit of salt and pepper. Perfect. And now we're just gonna coat that piece of meat right in that dip mix, sort of like a rub. You wanna really rub it in to all the areas very, very well so that the pork is completely coated. And now we're gonna take this over to the stove and we're going to sear it. What is searing? Searing is just cooking it real fast on high heat around the outside, really fast, get a nice brown color on the outside to seal in all the meat before we put it in the oven. So, let's take our pork tenderloin over to the stove and make some mealtime magic. So I've got this beautiful pork tenderloin. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our burner on high. And what we're gonna wanna do with this pork tenderloin is we're gonna wanna sear the outside of it. When we sear the outside of it, we're sealing in all the juice. And we wanna do this really quick before we put it in the oven to braise. I am gonna sear it in a little bit of this rosemary oil, and what do we always say? This is the best part. Super fun. Little rosemary oil in the pan, maybe only about a tablespoon, just enough to keep the loin from sticking to the pan. Yes, I said loin. So here we go. We can see in the pan that it is starting to bubble a little bit, and I put my hand here and I can feel the heat. So don't stick your fingers in there because that would be bad, but you can feel the heat coming off of it. And we're going to pan sear this pork tenderloin right now. That's exactly what we want to hear, that sizzle. So I'm going to grab my tongs so that we can just flip it over. Really just want to brown it very quickly on all sides. You see that onion dip is getting nice and brown. Perfect. We're going to give this a quick minute, maybe 2 minutes in the frying pan. The sizzle is amazing. It smells fantastic. Gonna brown it on all sides. So make sure that you do let it sit on the side for a minute or two. Again, just until it's brown. You're gonna watch this like a hawk. All right, this looks good. I'm gonna transfer this to my baking dish. We're going to put in our shredded carrot. Put that right on top. Our 2 cups of wine. And our pan drippings. So all of that, a little bit of our burnt onion, and our olive oil, and we're gonna put that right on top there. Gonna cover this with a little aluminum foil and pop it in the oven. So here we've got our pork tenderloin ready to go in the oven. We're gonna put that in. We're gonna let that braise for about 2 hours. When we're done and it's ready, we'll fall apart and it will be absolutely fantastic. So now it's in the oven. I've got 2 hours to do whatever I want. That's why this recipe is so convenient. So we'll check back on it in a couple of hours. So our pork tenderloin has come out of the oven and it looks beautiful. You can see if you look up close, the carrots that we shredded have cooked way down, and that's great for sweetness, and we have sort of a brown gravy happening in there. Isn't that beautiful? And you're gonna notice that this just absolutely falls apart. And isn't that beautiful? You want to shred it up into some nice big chunks, just like that. Put it on a nice serving plate. Now this is great for, as we're talking here about the holidays, but the truth is that you can make this any night of the week, but if you decide to do it for your holiday celebrations, it's a nice change of pace. You want to be sure to get all those beautiful pan drippings. Gorgeous and delicious. It smells so good. Just put that right on top. Make sure you get all the beautiful juice. Braised pork tenderloin in a red wine reduction. How perfect is that? You saw how simple it was. It took about 5 minutes. Wonderful addition to your holiday table. Thank you so much for joining me, Dawn the Kitchen Witch. Happy holidays.